The full summary for chapter 1166 finally dropped. Before we get to that, make sure to like the subscribe to my channel if you like daily One Piece content, because I'm sure if you love the channel, bro, I'm here every day, okay? I'm here every day. Let's get into the full summary. So the chapter starts where Roger and Garp left the battlefield and Rox was lying on the ground. And despite the attacks of Roger and Garp, Rox was still alive. Rox was talking to himself and he said, it didn't work, huh? Roger, Garp, run. You guys are not to die here. And then suddenly, Garling, Summers, and Mayfi approached Rox. Garling raised his sword and stabbed it into Rox's body. And these were Rox's last words. Rox says, "Oh, almost forgot. Thank you guys for stopping my rampage." And this is it for Rox. This is it for one of the greatest characters to ever live in One Piece history. He's gone, he's dead. And my god, what a way to die, bro. Oh my god, like I genuinely cannot describe how great of a character he is. He's genuinely one of the greatest things to ever be written of the hands of Oda. And in the closing scenes of God Valley, we see Newgate, Kaido, Lilin, Shaki, all these characters are leaving, and we see that the island was sinking into the sea. So no Imusama's powers, no Imusama's weapon, no laser beams or whatever. It was just by these three beasts, bro, from Rox, Roger, and Garp. So Roger returned to the ship, to the Ori Jackson, and he just suddenly heard a noise coming from the treasure box. And they opened it, and they found Baby Shanks. It's the exact same page, the exact same sketch as we've seen in the promotional chapter that we got from Film Red. So it's typically the same page that we got. So the news of the Rox Pirates disbandment got spread around the world. HARALD stopped the giant who was plundering on a human town, and he punched the giant several times in rage. HARALD felt guilty that his efforts for peace resulting in him not helping Rox, so he will not forget any giant who stand against his toll. And we get to see Loki's reaction too, by Rox's death and the disbandment of the Rox Pirates and everything. So Loki wanted to join Rox Pirates because he thought that Rox is actually the sun god Nika, the god of destruction. But Rox told him that he wasn't a god who wanted to destroy the world. He was a pirate who aimed for conquer the world in order to change it. At this point, it's just every time we see whatever from Rox, he just keeps getting better and better, bro. Oh my god. Like, remember the old times when you thought that Rox was actually a villain? Like at that time, the first time Sengoku was talking about the God Valley incident and everything, we actually thought that Rox was a villain, bro. He just all of a sudden turned out to be one of the nicest people ever. Like, he's genuinely a nice dude. Like, even telling Loki, like a child, telling him that he doesn't just want to destroy anything, he doesn't want to destroy the world or whatever. He's just simply a normal man who just wants to be, or wants to just change the world. So cut to Dragon, who was locked up in a cell, and we see Dragon went to visit him, and after a brief conversation, Garp threw the cell key to Dragon. And here's the conversation where Dragon says, "Pops, I'm quitting from the Navy." Garp says, "Yeah." Dragon says, "I despise you." Garp says, "Yeah." And he throws the keys, simply leaves. And this is the last time and the final time we ever see Dragon as a Marine. And then he started the Liberation Army, right? And after a while, we see HARALD was ready to set sail on Elbaf Coast, and he says goodbye to his family and friends. So HARALD says, "I have made up my mind, Ida, Master Jarl. I will devote everything I have for it. Hyroden, Loki, you're both my sons and I love you. I want you two to work together." So HARALD became more resolved to bring Elbaf into the world community, but because he attacked the giant, the news spread that he was very violent. That's why HARALD decided to go to Marineford and talk directly with the Marines and the world government. So HARALD asks the higher-ups and the Marines and the world government, and he tells them, "I ask that you spare my words some attention." And then in the epic final double page of the chapter, HARALD pulled out his horns, and after that, HARALD knelt down and offered his break horns to the Marines and the world government with his face covered in blood. And HARALD says, "Let me atone for what happened during the last 1,000 years. I wish to apologize for all the mistakes the giants have made. I wish to prove to you all that my oath for peace is sincere." so that the children of Elbaf can live without having to hurt anyone, so that they can live hand in hand with your children. Give me a chance to make up for our sins. I would become a slave if it's for that cause. And in the last panel of the chapter, we see Imu's eyes. This is legitimately one of the biggest twists ever, okay? So in the spoilers, they didn't tell us about Imu. We didn't get the fact that Harold was actually talking to Imu. And that was supposedly 38 years ago, right? Let's say 37 if like some time passes. Let's say 38 years ago. So Harold knew about Imu-sama 38 years ago. So 24 years before his death. So he spent 24 years knowing about Imu-sama, knowing about everything, without doing a change, without doing anything, without changing Elbaf, without changing the word government, without changing anything about the world of One Piece. Like, did he even try to do anything? Did he even try to change Elbaf? Yes, he wanted to make a change. Now, honestly, I'm so excited. Like, the last panel where we see Imu's eyes, this made me so hyped for chapter 11 and 6-7, because I genuinely want to see the conversation between Imu-sama and King Harold. Because at this point, like, what made Harold's mind keep believing that the world government could help him? Because he spent 24 years believing that that he could change Elbaf and he could make them like work with the world government, or like the eternal peace that he wanted to make for Elbaf, right? So for 24 years before his death, he spent 24 years wanting to make change. That he even saw Imu-sama itself, but nothing changed in Elbaf. Okay, I do wonder what happened. Did he like lie to the world government? But I don't see it happening, honestly. So this is it for the full summary. Okay, the rest of the review is gonna be tomorrow for the full chapter review and everything. So write in the comments, what do you guys think about the Harold situation? It's actually interesting, honestly. It's so interesting. So I guess this is it. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, drop your thoughts and everything. Like this video, all that stuff. Get out of here.